Hi, my name's Dan, and just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from, this is kind of a first time video for me. I've never made one like this, but I have always loved audio systems, and I really initially loved the 70s design receivers on into the early 80s, probably through 85, but kind of lost interest around that time frame. But I then moved into home theater. At that point, I think a lot of people did, and really enjoyed that as well. But I found that, when I'm listening to my vintage music, I really can't get that sound that I'm looking for through a home theater system. Yes, they have 2-channel modes and so on and so forth, but they just didn't bring out that same sound that I'm looking for from back in the day. So for me, this has been kind of a hobby for the last 30-40 years, and some of my earliest memories that really kind of got me started with audio in general. You walk into a store that's got racks and racks of beautiful machines. They sound fantastic. They play the best music ever, and I think many of us still consider that era to be some of the best music available, at least in the modern genres. So why am I making this video today? It's a little bit different, like I said, and I'm making it to kind of explore the idea of building maybe some of the bottom line or mid-grade machines into a retro mod. You could get a great sounding receiver, a great looking receiver for not a lot of money. Let's get into some of the guts of what I actually did. Now, I might make this into a 2 or 3 video series, so if that's interesting, comment down below and let me know if you're interested in what I actually did to make all this work inside this machine. Okay, so with the first mod, it's the 100 watt per channel into 4 ohms power amplifier that I added to this machine. So this uses the Texas Instruments TPA 3255 digital amplifier chip. So this particular board that I bought has a nice, fairly heavy heat sink on it, and it is also augmented by a fan, so that keeps it nice and cool. I found that the fan is whisper quiet. The results of this amplifier was outstanding. It really improved almost every aspect of the audio quality from this receiver. It didn't really sound harsh, especially being paired with the preamplifier section on this receiver. It was really easy to listen to, but the biggest difference was it really put a punch in those bass notes. You could really drive complex speakers and larger speakers with ease with this amplifier, and that makes a huge difference on how the mid-range and the treble sounds out of those speakers as well. So it's not just the bass that's affected, it really does carry on and have a domino effect, if you will, up into the mid and high range of the frequency spectrum. So I was very pleased with how this amplifier performed. It stays cool, and so the other thing that this digital amplifier allows me to do is to tuck it away in a very small area right up in this area of the receiver. It happened to have space available right in that area, so I tucked it away in there. I did run the power supplies external. Those are switching power supplies that were external to the box. I ran through several tests with my oscilloscope, and the test really turned out quite nicely from a technical perspective. The harmonic distortion was very low, and really until you drove those speakers to an ear piercing level, you really didn't have any issues with distortion at all. With the lighting, I took a little bit different approach in that I used what they call individual addressable LEDs. So it's basically a string of LEDs that is connected to a controller, and that controller then can shift the color of each individual LED. So that enables me to not only give you a huge range of colors on the front panel, depending on your mood, depending on your likes or dislikes. You can set those. You can set it to any, basically any light level as well. So you might like a very bright presentation. I personally like to keep things fairly low and dim. So anyways, the other thing I did was to go ahead and light this VU, or not VU beam, but signal strength meter, and I kept that very low so that it was very subtle and kind of in the background. And then you'll notice that on these VU meters, those are OLED screens. Now these screens are very entry-level screens. I just used them to kind of see how they worked, see if they were worth using. My opinion is I like the look of them. I think they're worth including on a resto mod. They do give you a sense of what power levels you're using, and they can be adjusted so that they actually give you real information. So what I don't like about them is that they're a single color, single presentation, and you know, I'd really like to get a higher end solution in any further builds that I do with this type of technology in there. So yes, I think they're worth including on a resto mod. Do I want to do a better presentation? Absolutely.
Like, if I told you I was ready right this minute, do you think that it would turn you on? I just feel like you need to know. If I told you I was ready right this minute.
Okay folks, so for a wrap up, I really loved working on this SA-80 receiver. It was fun to go through the process of figuring out how to actually implement some of the stuff and make it work. So if you're interested in how I did some of this stuff or some of the products that I use, let me know in the comments, give me a thumbs up. There's a lot of products out there that would make it fairly easy to really take these gorgeous units from the past and upgrade them so they actually sound better, maybe look better, and just get a new look and feel to the classic receiver that you might have had for 30 or 40 years in your life. So let me know. Thanks.